Hello and welcome to Modalities Movement Therapy. The foundation of movement is breath. I want you to think of breath as three-dimensional. Functional breathing encourages the rib cage to expand in all directions, rather than just pushing the belly button out. Diaphragmatic breathing helps stabilize the core, reduces neck tension because we take ourselves out of that fight and flight response or sympathetic response where we're using these secondary respiratory muscles. We take ourselves into our rest and digest pattern or our parasympathetic pattern where we're using the main muscle of respiration, the diaphragm. And this will help us regulate our autonomic nervous system and prepare the body better for movement. So this is your starting point, your foundation for movement. And from here we move on to strength and balance without compensation patterns. So I want you to remember that movement is key, and if you don't use it, well, you lose it. And for this routine, we're going to slow things down and we're going to use a soft reflex ball. You can use a tennis ball, but something a little bit softer and gentler. What's nice about the reflex ball with the little nodules is it really stimulates the receptors, and you're going to need a loop resistance band. So let's start in standing and just bring your foot onto the ball, and you're going to bounce the foot up and over the ball, moving gently through and then back to the toes. Just wake up that foundation of the body. Bounce the foot into the ball and move it along. Let's do one more, pushing and moving. Think of your posture, think of your breath, just relax. So focus on nose breathing. Just bringing yourself into a nice calm state. Keep going, do another 3, bouncing into that ball. Two more. And one more. Okay, you can put the ball, leave the ball where it is. Stand lengthways on your mat. Slowly breathe in. On your exhalation, tuck your chin, roll down through your spine, and walk down onto your hands and knees. Take the reflex ball under one hand, under the palm, and just bounce the hand into that rotation. Try and take the fingers as close in, you're pointing towards the knee as you can, but your range of movement depends on that. Slowly work, and you can always increase that range of movement once the body is better prepared. Hold it into the rotation as far as you can. That might be your range, which is great. Bring your fist of your other hand, and you're just going to work in that 2-directional pull, just stretching the wrist. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do the same to the other side. So just bounce the hand into that rotation and bounce. Finish off with one more and then hold it in the rotation and massage up the forearm. Six, 7, and 8. Put the ball on the mat. We're going to use it in a minute. Hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the hands out as much as you can. You're in a neutral position, so look down at the mat, relax your head, keep the spine in a nice extended position, And just keeping that neutral position, you're going to breathe. Breathe in for 4 through the nose and exhale through the nose for 4. Keep going, so you're breathing in and exhale. Imagine you have a feather underneath your nose. You want the feather, you don't want to inhale the feather and you don't want the feather to blow away. So it's a nice gentle inhalation and exhale. So we're inhaling to an eccentric contraction and exhaling. And as we move through the workout, see if you can extend your exhalation. So we're focusing longer on the exhalation than the inhalation. Then we're really going to contract these core muscles around in the cylinder. Let's finish off with one more, breathing in and exhale. So don't be in a hurry. Just focus on relaxing into the movement. We're now going to take the reflex ball and we're going to bring it onto the right side. So we call this the iliac dungeon, inside that right hip bone. So it's between the belly button and the hip bone, not on the hip bone, but inside it. Then we're going to move up to the inside of the right rib cage. So we're going to work up and around with the colon, the ascending colon, the transverse colon, and the descending colon. So this is where the diaphragm sits right under here, but we want to stimulate these organs around here, and we want to take that focus away from the secondary respiratory muscles, which we'll release around the back in a minute. And then we go, so from there to there, then we're going to bring the ball onto the sternum. And the reason we're focusing on this area, the esophagus, which sits behind the sternum, is because if we're in that stress breathing pattern, you might experience things like reflux. We want to focus on releasing this area because this is often where we carry a lot of tension as well. From there, we're going to move into the left side and down into the left iliac dungeon. So again, the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and that diaphragm sits here. We want to get that movement from the breathing. So lie forward on the mat. If you can keep your hand underneath the ball, that's great. We're going to rest our forehead on the left hand. If you find you're getting deep enough, then you can release the hand. And your second option as well is to breathe in, lift the leg if you can, but if you're taking any strain in the lower back, then keep the leg on the mat. On your exhalation, nice and slowly lower the leg, exhaling as you go. Here we go, breathing in and exhaling. For 3, breathing in and exhale. Try rest your chest on the mat. I'm just going to keep my chest lifted because of the microphone. Exhale and lower. Breathing in. Exhale. Lower. Do another 3. And exhale. 2 more. And exhale. Your last one, breathing in and exhale. Find the inside of your right rib cage so you're not on the ribs between the belly button and the ribs. Rest both hands under your forehead and breathing in again. So nice, slow, steady breath. And exhale. Focus on that exhalation. We're going to do another 5, breathing in and exhaling. Take your time and exhale. Your last 2. And 1 more. And exhale. Bring the ball onto the sternum. So you're now bringing the ball onto the sternum. On your exhalation, you can wiggle the shoulders a little bit from side to side. Try and keep the forehead on the hands. And breathe in. Do another 1. And wiggle. That wiggle is optional. Let's move the ball onto the left, inside the left rib cage, resting your forehead on your hand or hands. And breathing. In for 4, out for 4 to 6. Remember the feather. You're taking your time. We're going to do another 4. Three more. 2 more. And 1 more. Now you're repositioning the ball inside your left hip bone into that iliac dungeon. Keep the hand under the ball if you can, and you're going to rest your forehead on your right hand. See how your back is. Breathe in and lift the leg if you can. Otherwise, you keep that foot and that leg on the mat. Exhale. Lower. Exhale. Keep going. Another 4. Breathing in and exhale. And 3. Two more. And the last one. Place that reflex ball to the side, bring the hands under the shoulders, up onto the hands and knees. We're going to take that resistance band and bring it onto the feet. So you're just going to have to rotate back onto the hands and knees and lower down onto the mat. Bring your hands underneath your forehead again, and just keeping the soles of the feet parallel to the ceiling. Think of the resistance band as your lungs. As you breathe in, your lungs are expanding. So push against the resistance band and then exhale and release. Keep going, breathing in, exhale and release. Breathing in, exhale and release. Keep going, 4 more. Exhale and 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Hands under your shoulders. Push up onto the hands and knees again, and we're going to bring the band just above the knees. So throughout the workout, we're going to keep the glutes relaxed. We're going to release the glutes, but I want you to think of the trampoline effect in the pelvis. We don't want butt gripping, because butt gripping is going to make everything too tight around there. So we want the flexibility in the pelvis. So when you're breathing with the diaphragm, the breathe in pushes the diaphragm down, and that pushes the pelvis down. So we're getting that movement into that cylinder, that whole core area. So we're coming back onto the hands and knees. You're going to curl your toes under. This is optional, but if you can, I'd like you to have that visualization of the resistance band as the lungs. So you're going to hover the knees off the mat, and as we breathe in, the knees are going to expand. As you're going to exhale, just let them come back to that neutral position. So you're keeping the resistance in the band, breathing in and exhaling. Relax your head, so look down at the mat. So we're not arching and tucking. All we're focusing on is that inhalation and that exhalation. Here we go for 4. Breathing in. If you're taking strain in the wrists, drop onto the elbows, but hopefully we have prepared them enough. Breathe in and exhale. 3 more. Breathing in and exhale. Last 2. Are you focusing longer on the exhalation? And 1 more. And exhale. Release the knees. Come back into your seated position and remove the resistance band. We're now going to sit on the reflex ball. So we're going to get the glutes a little bit more relaxed. So we avoid that butt gripping. And let's move the ball onto the other side, working around onto that lateral side as well. If you find that sweet spot or any sweet spots, maybe there's more than one, you just hold it there and bounce the knee out. So just keep moving. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're now going to come into a supine position, and we're going to focus on the neck, the shoulders, and the lower back. Let's lie and release the head in the left hand. Bring the ball into the right hand. We're going to expose that muscle that runs down the side of the neck that's responsible for rotating the head. So behind your ear is a little bony process, the mastoid process. We're going to work down from the mastoid process towards the clavicle. Like you would squeeze a lemon, you're going to push and twist the ball. Push and twist down towards the clavicle. There, that bone there. So you're pushing and twisting. Push and twist. Push and twist. Push and twist. Push and twist. Go back up to that bony process behind the ear. This is often where we carry a lot of tension, especially if we're clenching the jaw and using those secondary respiratory muscles in the neck and the shoulders. You can roll the ball around a little bit, so you just bring the ball onto the palm and just massaging around this area. So now you're going to lift the shoulder and bring the ball underneath the shoulder. Keep your head resting in your left hand, and you're going to breathe in. Open yourself up, so we're not really arching and tucking, but just focusing on the breathing. And exhale. So you'll just let your body come into a neutral position. Breathing in and exhaling. Do another 4. And 3. 2 more. And 1. Let's hold it in the open position, and you will lift the back off the mat and the left shoulder, and just let the ball roll a little bit from side to side as you wiggle. Staying on the right side, just lift the shoulder, release the ball, and you're going to bring the ball below the rib cage, above the line of the hip bone where there's a bony process running towards the spine. You're going to position it sort of on the fleshy bit between those 2 bony areas, and you're going to cross the right ankle. Let's rock from side to side. So if you're taking strain, just make the movement a little bit smaller, focus more on going away from the ball then towards the ball, and then gently progress to rocking the knee up and over the ball. That's where you're going to feel most of the release. Nice and slowly. And when you're ready to, if you are ready, you're going to keep the knee closer to the mat or the floor next to the right side, and you're going to bounce that knee to the mat. If you want to continue making that movement bigger, just getting used to the release in this lower back area, then you continue with that. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to move over to the left side. So release, rock up off the ball, and bring the ball back onto the sternocleidomastoid, that muscle there that runs down the side. Okay, you're now going to rest your head in your right hand. Just rock your ear towards the right side and expose that muscle, and then find that bony process behind the ear and massage along down towards the clavicle. Pushing and twisting like you would squeeze a lemon. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift the left shoulder, position the ball, right where the shoulder meets the neck, just on those upper traps. And in that neutral position with the back, just relax it. Breathe in, circle the elbow, and then exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 3. And exhale. Breathe in and exhale. Four more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Okay, let's lift the right shoulder off and the back off the mat. Let's roll the ball a little bit from side to side as we wiggle the shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rock off the ball and position it in the fleshy bit on the left side of the spine. Cross the left ankle and rock from side to side. Reposition the ball, but keep it on the fleshy bit, so don't bring it too much onto the rib cage. And rock towards the ball if you can. Otherwise, make that movement bigger if you're just getting used to it. Let's hold it down towards the mat and bounce, bounce, bounce. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Release the ball. Just pop it to the side. Extend your legs if you want to. If you're more comfortable with the feet flat, the knees bent, you can stay there. Let's just focus on the breathing. So make sure your head is nice and relaxed. So ponytail out the way. Bring your hands onto your rib cage and breathe. Try and compare it to what it felt like previously. Breathing in. And try and exhale for longer this time. Feel the rib cage dropping, relaxing the shoulders. See if you can exhale a little bit longer after we've done all the releases. Breathing in. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. Don't rush it, don't rush it. Focus on the exhalation and get that activation around this whole cylinder. Glutes are relaxed, breathing in. And exhale. Three to go. Breathing in. And exhale. Two more. And exhale. Bend the knees, bring the feet flat again. And we're going to continue with the breathing, This time, if you can, I'm going to give you two options. We're going to lift the feet as the lower back pushes down into the mat, but we're not arching and tucking. We just want to make sure the glutes are not gripping, the butt is not gripping, or the glutes, if you want to call them that. So let's breathe in. That's your 4 count inhalation. Now exhale for 4 counts. Keep the feet on the mat. Exhale. After your 4th exhalation, you can lift the right foot. Don't let the lower back lift off the mat. Keep it into the mat. Lift the right foot, lift the left foot, and release the feet. Breathe in, that's your first option. Feet on the mat, you're breathing in now, and then as you exhale, you've exhaled for 4 counts, now lift the feet. But if the lower back lifts up, then keep the feet on the mat and keep the glutes relaxed. Breathing in. So you've got those two options, exhaling. If you can lift both feet, go for it. You'll feel the glutes active, the core muscles activating, which are the abdominals in the cylinder here, but you don't want the glutes to take over. And breathe in, and you don't want the glutes to grip. You can let the feet bounce up and down. Breathing in. When I talk about the glutes, we want the glutes are part of the core. We want the glutes to be strong. We want to activate the glutes, but let's just focus on getting the breathing right, and then we can activate the glutes once the diaphragm is really functioning properly. Breathing in and exhaling. We're going to do another 4, breathing in and exhaling. Your last one, breathing in and exhaling. Now we're going to take the resistance band and bring it around the feet. This is one of my favorites because we can get a little bit deeper into the core and activate and get more movement into the body. Link your fingers and rest your head in your hands, flex your feet. We're breathing in. On the exhalation, you've got the option to come into that chest lift. Make sure you're not moving from the neck. You want to lift the chest right off the mat, and you're going to bend the right knee. Keep the left knee straight, lock the knee. Don't lower the leg too much so that the lower back comes off the mat. You want to make the movement nice and big, and you exhaling for 2, 3, and 4. Extend the legs up to the ceiling, lower down, breathing in. On your exhalation, come into your chest lift again if that's your option, and exhale, and then bend the left, keep the right knee straight, 3 and 4. Feet up. Lower the chest down. This is your inhalation. Exhale to chest lift. Bend the right again and pulse for 2, 3, and 4. Legs up. breathing in. Exhale. Bend the left. 2, 3, 4. Bounce. 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. Exhaling. That's 4 down, 8 down. Let's hug the knees into the chest. And we're going to do another set. Make sure that head is relaxed in the hands if you're coming into that chest lift, so you're not putting any strain into the neck. Let's breathe in. Exhale. And bounce. 2, 3, 4. Extend. Breathing in. Exhale. So you're keeping a space between the chin and the chest. Extend. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in. 4 to go. Last 2. And bring the knees back to the chest. Let's position the band above the knees. Rock yourself onto one side and lengthening out. So like we did when we were on the hands and knees, we're going to think of the resistance band as the diaphragm. As you breathe in, you're opening up. So we'll keep the spine in a neutral position, so don't arch and tuck. We'll bring that in just now. On the exhalation, you're going to drop that top knee. Breathing in, opening up, and exhale. Glutes are relaxed, but you should feel they're engaging now. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going. We're going to do another 4. Head is nice and relaxed. And exhale. Breathing in and exhale. For the last one, breathing in and exhale. Rock around onto the hands and knees. So like a rotisserie, we're coming up and we're working around this area again. So curl the toes under, similar to what we did just now. Hover the knees off the mat, and we're going to breathe in. We're looking up now. On the exhalation, relax the knees. Now we're opening up to that arch. Exhaling to the tuck. Here we go for 3. Exhale. Breathing in and exhale. 4 to go. Breathing in And exhale. Finish off with one more. Opening up the knees and exhaling. And just release. Sit back into child's pose and walk your hands ahead of you. Relax your forehead onto the mat and just focus on the breathing again. As you breathe in, feel the rib cage expanding into the thighs, and then exhale. On your next inhalation, uncurl through the spine. Breathe in. And let's rock around to the other side. If you do have water, let's have a quick drink of water. And make sure you stay nice and hydrated. With the movements that breathing, it should make you thirsty. Let's lie on the other arm. And so imagine you're up against a wall, feet, tailbone, shoulders, and arm in one straight line. So the ribs opening up, the band opening up. So that's your diaphragm. Let's breathe in. Opening up, exhale. And relax. Breathing in. And exhale. Keep going for 3. And exhale. Breathe in for 4. And exhale. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Breathing in. And exhale. Okay. Rock around onto your back again. And just extend your legs if you want to. And breathe again. So just check in with that breath. Hands on the rib cage. Breathing in. And exhaling. Can you extend that exhalation and really get that concentric contraction deeper, deeper? Breathing in and exhale. Just finish off with 2 more. See if you can extend the exhalation even more, even more, even more. Breathing in and exhale. The last one. And exhale. So we're going to keep the band around the legs. Just bend your knees and bring your feet flat. Breathe in. On your exhalation, hug your knees to your chest. And on your next inhalation, rock yourself to a seated position. And position the band onto the big toes. This is another one of my favorites, activating the deep core line. Lengthen the legs ahead of you. You can bring your hands behind you on the mat and opening up the toes, so keeping the resistance in the band. We're just going to finish off with pulses, pulsing the legs out. So this helps work into the arches of the feet, strengthening the arches, working the glutes as well, the lateral side. And this is a great one for bunions. If you have a bunion, this will help open up the toes. Keep going. Let's do another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in that open position and release. And that was it for today. Well done, and thank you for joining me.